we definitely get from time to time people sending in or contacting us with strong reactions to some content that we've disseminated or position that we've taken. And sometimes it's constructive and helpful, but a lot of times, I think everyone's experienced this because we're all a little bit in media if you participate in social media, where there's just this tendency to, if you care deeply about something, you can lash out. So we do experience that. Luckily, I don't think it's very much. But again, if you're working in any kind of media or like public facing thing and you're trying to interact online with strangers and there's no real relationship there, that you just need to have thick skin and realize like people are fried. This reaction, a lot of times when it comes from our community members, I tend to think we're a group of people so committed to social change and we all care so deeply that if you feel like something's been gotten wrong or just not what you wanted, then emotions run high. So that does happen. And we still are happy to have people send us their feedback. A lot of times it is helpful. As far as the other side, it's interesting. I think the biggest problem, in my opinion, is if you have sides or if you have bubbles, if you're ignored by them, like if you never hear from anyone who thinks differently from you, and maybe even gets pissed off by your position, then that's not necessarily a good thing. So I actually like when we get engagement and I can tell that this person just has a totally different perspective from me. And a lot of times it's not necessarily that we have a disagreement over values or a big disagreement over anything substantial. We're actually operating from a place of understanding how the world works completely differently. And as a media platform, that's an opportunity to open the door. So I think a lot of like the confrontational, I don't know, maybe it's kind of like a YouTube culture of like slamming people is not always the best move. It definitely gets the clicks and might be entertaining, but for us, the pushback from the other side or other circles is an opportunity. Doesn't always work, and you can't spend hours convincing everybody of everything, but you can at least give people a chance to check out a different way of looking at something, make them feel invited. One strategy that we've been pursuing for the last couple of years is kind of trying to drop in behind the lines or like outside of the normal left eco bubbles by having our content listed on the major news aggregators. We have a very talented staff member who was able to push this through. He's very technically inclined. I still don't know how they accepted us, but all of our content appears on MSN, Smart News, Google News, Flipboard, and we're working on some others. And I think in total, that represents a potential audience of like over 700 million people. And most of those people only ever see mainstream news. So to put ZNet content in front of them, we get a lot of messed up comments and we get a lot of pushback. But at the same time, I think giving people the opportunity to see content that they've never been able to see, the people with the power and the money who own the corporate news and media sources, or even independent media, which is backed by big money, they don't want people to have that chance to see this different perspective. So we're kind of seeking that pushback. Yeah, I don't think that, at least not in my relatively short involvement over the past few years with Z, that we've had any major pushback in a more organized way, like no organization or anything like that has ever come after us. I know there are stories. If you sit down with Michael Albert, he'll tell you about all kind of different things from like IRS pressure to different things that happened over the years. But other than the normal things like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter shadow banning and stuff like that, which that's expected these days if you mention the word Palestine in your posts. But yeah, so far so good for me. I'm sure if I keep up with this, I will experience something a little more extreme. I'm not looking forward to the potential of a second Trump administration with the Project 2025's discourse on how it views independent and left media. But yeah, we'll see. Could get interesting.